Papua New Guinea is a land defined by geography. Here, flight is not a luxury, it is a necessity. But in these mountains, a pilot's survival is decided in seconds. For decades, the skies above the Saruwaged Range have demanded absolute precision. On December 22nd, 2024, a routine charter flight carrying 5 souls departed into these peaks. It would never arrive. What happened to flight Papua 2 Sierra Alpha Mike was not a single failure, but a chain of invisible decisions that led directly into a mountain wall.
Wasu Airstrip, 10 a.m. 4 passengers board the Britten-Norman Islander, operated by North Coast Aviation. They are government staff returning from a district development meeting. Their pilot is Captain David Tong, a veteran with over 13,000 flying hours. But there is a silent vulnerability at this remote strip. There are no scales. Passenger and cargo weights are estimated. No weight and balance sheet is calculated. At 10:12, the Lycoming engines roar to life. P2 SAM taxis, turns, and lifts off into the humid sky.
As P2 SAM climbs, a hybrid cellular and satellite system called V2 Track reports its progress every 15 seconds. The aircraft turns inland, climbing through 6,000 feet, but the mountains are waiting. At 10:22, the cellular signal drops out. High above, a satellite briefly registers the plane. The clouds are thickening. At 10:26:59, the tracking system transmits its final data point. Altitude 8,002 feet. Ground speed 85 knots, climbing steadily. 1 minute later, the signal goes dead. What actually happened in those final seconds? The investigation would reveal a terrifying truth. The Islander was flying at an indicated airspeed of 100 knots, 35 knots faster than the speed required to clear obstacles. The pilot did not see the mountain. Hidden in thick cloud, the aircraft struck a massive tree at 8,405 feet. The impact severed the right wing. P2 SAM dropped vertically, slamming into a steep 55-degree cliff face. A post-impact fire instantly consumed the wreckage. All 5 on board were gone in an instant. At 10:30, satellites register a distress beacon. An emergency is declared. But the search teams face an immediate crisis. The initial coordinates are off by 12 miles. Search helicopters scramble, but the weather closes in. Low clouds and heavy rain block the mountain passes. On December 23rd, at 6:45 a.m., a search pilot spots a break in the canopy. Looking horizontally through a gap in the trees, he sees the charred tail section. But the recovery will take a grueling week in some of the most vertical terrain on Earth. For locals and investigators, the crash of P2-SAM brings back a ghost. Exactly 7 years earlier, on December 23, 2017, an identical Islander operated by the same company went missing on the same route. The pilot was David Tong, a world-class concert pianist turned bush pilot. He crashed into a ridge at 9,500 feet. Tong survived the initial impact and called for help. But for 3 days, the same relentless mountain weather blocked rescuers. By the time ground teams reached the site, hypothermia had claimed his life. 2 planes, the same range, the same operator, 7 years apart. When the Accident Investigation Commission analyzed the wreckage, they found systemic safety gaps.
The aircraft's Garmin navigation unit had visual terrain warnings, but the auditory alert system was deactivated. The pilot had no voice warning him to pull up. Furthermore, the company route guide had discrepancies with the electronic tablet software. Worse, there were no documented alternative route plans if the main gaps were blocked. The pilot was left to make a high-stakes weather decision with incomplete data.
The loss of P2 SAM was not inevitable. It was a tragedy written in systemic oversights, weather blind spots, and silent cockpits. As the families of the lost grieve, the aviation industry faces a stark choice. Adopt the rigorous safety standards demanded by these mountains, or wait for history to repeat itself a third time.